Welcome back to the deep dive. Ever wondered how something huge, I mean truly global, a big tech vision, keeps its momentum?
And not just momentum, but unity, right?
Yeah,
Across millions of people, different languages, cultures. It's fascinating.
exactly. So today, we're digging into some really interesting source material about the on-passive movement, founded by Ash Mufari.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking at it through a specific lens.
Mm.
Communication, how does that actually work?
Yeah, our mission today is pretty focused. We're analyzing these documents to see how a certain kind of leadership, transparent, really heartfelt, translates this complex, futuristic tech vision,
Lots of AI, machine learning.
right? Heavy stuff, how that gets turned into something real, something current for, well, everyone around the world. It's about how you build trust, at a massive scale.
Especially when the payoff isn't immediate
Mm,
and the tech is, well, potentially world-changing.
precisely.
And central to this, according to what we've read, is a figure named Redfern. He's described over and over again as a voice that carries the heartbeat of a vision.
Yeah, that phrase comes up a lot.
So we're dissecting that and this idea of the good vibes of success in the unimpassive community. How could one person, one voice, anchor all that positive energy? It seems like a huge task.
It really sets up an interesting dynamic, doesn't it? You've got this massive tech infrastructure, AI systems, data, global reach.
Complexity.
Yeah, sheer complexity. And then on the other hand, you have this fundamental human need for what? Connection, assurance, simplicity, even.
Right. So as we dive in, the big question for you listening, especially if you're involved in complex projects, maybe global ones,
We're just interested in leadership.
yeah. What actually happens when you pair that massive, complex AI tech with really consistent, genuine human communication? What are the specific techniques that drive, mass belief and participation?
That's the nut we're trying to crack today.
Okay, let's start with Redfern himself. This idea of him being the messenger. The sources are pretty clear. He's more than just a spokesperson. They call him a symbol of hope, connection, and unstoppable success. What specific traits are they pointing to, beyond just, being a good leader?
Well, the sources dig deeper than just charisma. They focus on things like integrity, consistency, sincerity comes up a lot, passion, and crucially, a genuine, unwavering belief in Ash Mufara's vision.
Okay.
Think about the context. It's high stakes, long term, based on tech that promises, well, huge future changes. When the future is what you're selling, people need stability now. They need conviction.
Right. They need something solid to hold on to.
Exactly. And Redfern, the sources say, steps into that role. He's the messenger for a revolution, somehow translating these really complex ideas, algorithms, back-end stuff into clear truth, something anyone can grasp.
That really highlights a key difference in today's world, doesn't it? Earning trust versus just demanding attention. A lot of noise out there.
Mm-hmm.
The sources seem to suggest Redfern's approach is about earning that trust through sincerity.
Mm.
That takes longer, maybe, but it lasts. How do they say he earns it?
It seems to boil down to maybe two things. Vulnerability and consistency.
Yeah.
He apparently communicates very openly from the heart. He knows the project inside out, but doesn't pretend to be the lead engineer himself.
Relatable.
Yeah, and he's consistent. Same message, same frequency, whether it's big news or, explaining a necessary delay. That communication becomes a bridge
A bridge between.
the super abstract technology and the founder's everyday life. And maybe just as important, it bridges that gap between the quiet, heads-down development work and the moments when there's something real to celebrate. That emotional gap can be tough.
Yeah, that deals with the fatigue, right? In any long project, if communication goes silent during the hard work phases, people get antsy. Speculation starts.
Absolutely.
So these weekly updates, these conversations, they become more than just information. The sources call it communication as motivation in motion.
Precisely. I mean, think about it. A huge, decentralized group, pre-launch. The risk of things just falling apart is massive. Information needs, I don't know, an emotional charge, a carrier wave.
Yeah, just a list of tech updates isn't going to cut it.
Right. It lacks the power to keep people going. So by adding what the sources call the warmth and encouragement and the conviction of leadership into his updates, Redfern turns, what could be dry reports into actual fuel for the community.
Can you expand on that? What's the sticky part? What makes it work?
It's the constant reinforcing that On Passive isn't just like a company trying to make money, it's a movement of purpose. He validates the founders' patience, their belief, their sacrifice.
Makes them feel seen.
Exactly. He makes sure every single founder feels that their waiting, their belief, it's all crucial to the bigger picture. That shared sense of purpose, that ethical angle, that they're part of something more than just profit that's the glue. It stops the whole thing collapsing under the pressure of waiting for these big breakthroughs.
So he acknowledges the difficulty, but celebrates the commitment needed.
Yes. He's not just managing information flow. He's actively managing the psychological well-being, the morale of this massive global community focused on a really complex long-term tech goal.
It sounds like he's humanizing this huge undertaking.
That's a great way to put it. Making the complex feel simple, making the global vision feel personal. And when the messenger feels relatable, sincere, and genuinely excited about the good the tech can do.
The ethical side.
Yeah. It validates the belief of millions that joining was the right call, that they are, on the right side of history, technologically speaking.
Okay, but this trust needs to be grounded in the tech itself.
Right.
On Passive is all about AI. So what's the core philosophy Redfern communicates about the technology, especially Ash Muffare's original idea?
The documents really hammer this home. Redfern consistently emphasizes that On Passive is about human intelligence empowered by AI. That's the key frame.
Okay, human intelligence empowered by AI. What does that mean practically?
It means pushing back against that, sci-fi fear of AI just replacing everyone. Instead, it's positioned as a tool. A really sophisticated tool, sure, but one designed to boost what humans can do. To simplify work, create economic opportunity.
Technology serving people, not the other way around.
Exactly. That framing itself lowers the intimidation factor right away.
And this is where communication skill becomes so vital. For someone listening who's trying to figure out how to explain complex AI stuff globally, how does Redfern take something like, integrating machine learning models and make it make sense to everyone, from maybe a retired teacher in Ohio to a young tech entrepreneur in, say, Vietnam?
It seems to be this knack for turning technical complexity into friendly conversation. The sources suggest he assumes the audience is smart but needs clarity on the impact, not necessarily the nitty-gritty specs.
Right. So when he talks about specific systems, OConnect, OMail, ONet, OWallet, he avoids the engineering jargon.
Mostly, yes. He focuses on what it does for you.
So instead of detailing like the encryption layers in OWallet,
He talks about what it enables. He frames it around being personal, practical, and purposeful. Those 3 Ps seem important.
personal, practical, purposeful. Okay.
So take OConnect. He doesn't get bogged down in data capacity or compression algorithms. He talks about seamless human connection, secure video calls with no lag, how the AI can translate in real time, letting people from anywhere collaborate easily.
So solving real communication problems.
Exactly. Making the tech an immediate, usable solution.
Let's take another one. OMail. I mean, it's email, right?
Yeah.
How does he make that sound different?
Well, he frames it not just as an inbox, but as a tool that gives you back time. The AI filters out the noise, organizes things, maximizes your efficiency. OWallet isn't just a digital ledger, it's pitched as the key to global financial freedom.
Okay, I see.
The constant aim is making these AI systems feel personal, practical, and purposeful. Directly linking the tech achievement to the founder's own life, their own goals, it massively lowers that barrier to entry. If the tech feels like it's naturally part of your goals, you feel confident, not skeptical.
I wonder, though, how do they balance that excitement with, the reality? Building these things is hard. It's messy. Does the source material talk about how he handles transparency without just overwhelming people?
That's a really good point, and it's crucial. The sources suggest he acts as both a translator and an emotional buffer, almost. He doesn't ignore the challenges, he reframes them.
Reframes them how?
Delays aren't failures. They're necessary tweaks to ensure perfection first. That seems to be a key phrase. By constantly linking whatever technical stage they're in, even the quiet, difficult ones, back to the big, human-centered vision.
He keeps the faith alive.
Right. He builds this sustainable confidence that it's worth the wait. He makes sure people see the human effort behind it, the engineers working late, the testing, the commitment to quality. It stops fear or rumors taking hold, which can happen so easily when big innovations are developed behind closed doors.
Let's talk about scale now.
Yeah.
We're talking a global family, millions strong, managing the expectations, the energy, and let's face it, the impatience that must come with waiting for something revolutionary across so many different places and situations. That sounds like a huge headache.
It's probably the toughest communication job there is in this kind of setup. I mean, basic psychology tells you, right?
Yeah.
High investment, emotional, maybe financial, leads to high expectations. And impatience, that creates volatility.
So Redfern's role is?
To be an energy guide, a
Got it.
stabilizer, to channel all that massive energy into, well, productive belief, focused faith.
The sources call him the stabilizer. So when things inevitably get tricky because big tech rollouts always hit bumps, how does he keep things positive? Stop it turning into frustration?
Context and repetition seem key. He keeps this calm, steady voice, filled with just unshakable faith in the whole process. But it's not just blind optimism. It's like he's mentoring the whole community in patience. He keeps saying, great things take time. And subtly, he gives value to the quiet periods by explaining that true success is built in silence. That shifts the focus.
I'm just wanting the next shiny object?
Right. To appreciating the foundational work. He makes the founders see that the silent phases are actually when the really deep, important work is happening. The breakthroughs are being built quietly.
So he's basically teaching people to value pouring the concrete foundation as much as seeing the finished skyscraper. That's a clever reframing of time itself.
Totally. He manages expectations by making patience a virtue, almost institutionalizing it. By making the community value the long game, he kind of inoculates them against that need for instant gratification.
Prevents disillusionment when timelines shift.
Or when, critics outside the movement raise doubts, that consistency is armor.
And this energy management links straight into that atmosphere. He creates the good vibes of progress, excitement, laughter, confidence, unity. What does that actually sound like? Does he use specific techniques?
Well, that good vibes frequency seems to be about intentional warmth, using humility, using humor. When he goes live, the sources say he uses self-deprecating humor sometimes just to lighten the mood, make himself relatable. Disarms the tension of waiting.
Okay.
And crucially, the focus shifts. It's not just about the products, the OES updates, the O-Connect milestones. It's about the people.
So focusing on the people validates their journey.
Exactly. He celebrates the founders who waited, the engineers who built, the dreamers who believed. By putting the spotlight on the people who are right there, waiting, sacrificing, he validates their choice to stay involved.
Turns a tech update into a community rally.
Yeah, something like that. The sources call this unique vibe the sound of progress with positivity. And the idea is, when you tie progress to a clear ethical purpose and deliver it with humor and conviction, it creates this positive feedback loop. It becomes self-sustaining. That's what they claim makes the movement feel unstoppable.
Wow. That's like a masterclass in keeping people motivated digitally over the long haul. Making the tough journey feel, well, maybe not easy, but enjoyable. Keeping people enthusiastic, not just passively waiting.
It seems to be the core of his communication strategy, and it's not just about him, right? A big part of Redfern's effectiveness seems to be how much he emphasizes unity. His core message is that success isn't about one person, it's the collaboration of many.
That's a powerful message for millions of people working remotely. Makes it feel democratic.
Exactly. It empowers everyone.
And this collaborative idea isn't just talk, is it? He seems to actively highlight his colleagues. The sources mention Marty DeGarmo acknowledging his legacy and Chris Johnson, others too. Why is celebrating that shared leadership so important?
Well, it stops it looking like, a one-man show,
Huh.
a cult of personality. By consistently praising and platforming other communicators, Redfern shows leadership through humility.
He walks the talk.
Right. He models the behavior he wants to see. Success comes when you help others rise. It shows the leadership structure is built on integrity, compassion, shared goals. It reinforces that the commitment is to the collective vision, not just one person's authority.
And they even created a structure for this collaboration, right?
Mhm.
On Passive 360. For listeners, what exactly is that? How does it make sure millions feel included?
On Passive 360 is described as the engine room for community connection. It's like an institutional commitment to keeping everyone in the loop.
Practically, what does it look like?
Regular online gatherings, basically. A constant stream of structured events, updates, Q&A sessions. The mission is clear. Keep founders informed, inspired, and included. Inclusion is the key word there. These platforms make sure information flows top-down, but also allows for interaction. Local leaders can share what's working for them. In a movement this big, it's easy to feel lost, like just a number. On Passive 360 seems designed to make everyone feel heard, feel like their role matters. That builds serious loyalty because it feels like the company is genuinely for the people.
Let's shift to defining success itself,
Mhm.
because that's the bedrock of motivation, isn't it? In the unpassive world, it's clearly about more than just money. If someone's trying to learn from this, they need to grasp that redefined metric.
Yeah, the sources paint a picture of success that's really relational, almost humanitarian. It's a different kind of social contract. Financial gain is definitely an expected outcome, no doubt about that.
But it's not the main goal.
It's not the ultimate gesture. The primary drivers are defined as things like freedom, personal growth, making a global impact. But the key difference is how that success is used. It has to provide peace of mind for families, create opportunities for other people, and ensure the tech is used for good.
So money is the tool for impact, not the end goal itself.
Exactly. And that leads to this really critical metric, the sort of moral compass of the culture. Success is measured not by how high one rises, but by how many rise with you.
Wow. Say that again?
Success is measured not by how high one rises, but by how many rise with you. That's not just a nice slogan, according to the sources, it's the actual yardstick for achievement in this ecosystem.
That completely flips the script from traditional competition, doesn't it?
It does. It shifts the whole focus from me first to collaborative abundance.
Let's unpack that for a second.
Oh,
It's
no.
huge. In a lot of business environments, success can feel zero-sum. If I win, maybe you lose, or at least there's less room for you. If you constantly drum home the message that my success is tied to everyone else's success, what does that do to people's behavior?
It creates this incredibly powerful intrinsic motivation, doesn't it? It's based on a shared destiny. Founders are encouraged, maybe even driven, to help others succeed because, both philosophically and practically, their own success depends on the whole group moving forward.
So mutual support becomes embedded in the culture.
Deeply embedded. And that kind of motivation, built on shared purpose and upliftment, is way more resilient over the long haul than just chasing individual financial targets. It seems to be the secret sauce keeping this massive global family pulling in the same direction. It's an ideological leap from scarcity to abundance.
Okay, let's talk about what keeps the engine running. That faith and trust. The mantra, repeated often by Redfern, is apparently, trust the process, Ash knows what he's doing. When the whole vision is described as almost divine in scale, that's more than just business confidence, isn't it? It's belief.
It has to be. That belief is the fuel, especially on this scale, over this time frame. When technical hurdles pop up or the path isn't immediately clear, that unwavering trust in Ash Mufareh's leadership is what, according to the sources, stops the whole thing fraying at the edges.
And Redfern's role in maintaining that trust.
He's like the signpost on a long journey. He consistently explains the why behind decisions, guides people through the milestones, the breakthroughs. He keeps connecting the dots back to the big picture.
He makes the roadmap feel less like a plan and more like, well, an inevitable unfolding. The sources say this greater plan is perfectly timed. How does he communicate timing without people just getting more impatient?
By framing it differently, by lifting the vision above the day-to-day pressures. He seems to suggest that perfection takes time, deliberate steps. If something's delayed, it's not a setback. It means they're aiming for an even higher level of quality, something truly optimized for global, long-term impact.
So patience isn't just waiting, it's active belief in the perfect timing of it all.
Exactly. He's giving structure to faith. He empowers ordinary people doing extraordinary things by making them feel part of this historical, almost destined progression. It inoculates against impatience.
Let's touch on this idea of digital leadership with heart. The sources hint Redfern's impact isn't just internal. What do they say about his wider influence?
They position him as someone using a digital platform for, well, pretty profound unifying and humanitarian goals, inspiring nations, awakening hope, showing that leadership online doesn't have to be cold or transactional.
How does he do that?
By bridging divides, using common ground, shared laughter, humility, connecting people across cultures and languages. He proves that consistent positive energy delivered with heart can radiate outwards. It offers not just a business model, but maybe a bit of philosophical hope too.
That focus on the human, the emotional, brings us to maybe the most fundamental ingredient he reinforces: gratitude. The sources call it the foundation of abundance.
Yeah, this seems absolutely central. It's the bedrock. Redfern's emphasis on gratitude isn't just politeness. It's a deliberate, constant redirection of energy.
Redirecting it where?
Outwards. He makes sure gratitude flows consistently towards Ash Mufareh for having the vision in the first place, towards the tech teams for their hard work, the brilliance, the long hours, and towards the founders themselves for their patience, their loyalty.
Why is that constant gratitude loop so critical for keeping the movement going?
because it's basically an active mechanism for thinking abundantly. When the focus is on gratitude, the mindset shifts away from scarcity, from competition, from what you don't have yet because you're waiting.
Right.
The sources literally say when gratitude flows, blessings multiply. It reinforces those good vibes by keeping the community focused on what they do, have the vision, the tech being built, the global family connection, rather than just dwelling on the future payoff.
So it keeps everyone grounded, ethically focused on sharing, even as they anticipate this massive growth.
Exactly. It enshows that when the success fully hits, it feels like a shared win, a collective experience, not just individual gain. Hashtag Tag 7. Outro, the road ahead, and final thought. So pulling it all together from our sources, the picture is one of rapid evolution. The ecosystem isn't static, new platforms are getting ready, AI-driven growth is expected to really take off across different industries. But the core story remains that community cohesion.
Which brings us back to that co-author idea, the constant message that the story is still being written, and every single founder is a co-author of this global legacy. That's incredibly empowering, isn't it?
It keeps people deeply engaged because the mission feels personal. They have a stake in the narrative. And Redfern's closing encouragement sums it all up, really. Stay positive, stay plugged in, and stay on passive.
A clear call to action, optimism, engagement, community.
Tilled right down.
So I guess our deep dive final takeaway here is that OnPassive's scale and his potential success aren't seen as just luck or timing by those inside. According to the sources, it's viewed as the result of careful orchestration, faith meeting innovation. That belief system, fueled by this constant positive communication we've been talking about, makes success feel like it's not just coming eventually, but that it's already here. It's manifesting now through the founder's effort and trust.
And that sustained effort, driven by that hyper-collaborative mindset, that's the real lesson, isn't it? We've looked at a model where success is fundamentally about how many rise with you. That's a radical departure from standard corporate thinking.
Which leads perfectly into our final thought for you, the listener. If you're leading a large organization, maybe one going through its own complex tech changes, like a big AI rollout, how could you adopt elements of this model, this really collaborative, relentlessly positive communication style?
Yeah, how could traditional corporate structures shift their success metrics? Move away from just the quarterly numbers towards something closer to this collective upliftment idea, where the leader's main job becomes stabilizing the journey, humanizing the tech for everyone involved.
It's a real challenge applying these lessons of, well, faith and unity to the pressures of the modern market.
Definitely something to chew on. How do you build a global movement when your success is measured by the collective rise?
A profound question for any